Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. I am your host, Michael Karvelis, and this is Daily Dive. It is Wednesday, April 1st, 2026, and this show begins now. We are live streaming via the YouTube airwaves of North American Talk Radio. Thank you so much for tuning in to this brand new start time, which will stay, by the way. In case you're wondering, some of the days that I have not had a show because I work night shift and it's not fun. So I'm switching to 1 o'clock from here on out. I think this will be a good sweet spot for us. We appreciate you for sticking around. On today's awesome show, we're going to first talk about social media and the way they are reacting to the Philadelphia Wings news. Also, some not great reporting that I think is unfair to fans. Then we'll get to my latest award races for Rookie of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year. And I'll explain my criteria for Defensive Player of the Year. Then we'll get to fresh fits, including a very tight race between the play-by-play broadcasters this week. Then my NLL power rankings. And finally, I'm finding out Junior NLL was not as wholesome and kid-friendly, or should I say, only for kids, as I once thought it was. And I'm disappointed. So in case you heard my unboxed rant, we're doing that again. So stay tuned for the end of the show. It's not fun. This show is presented by the merchandise that you can find in the U.S. at natalkradio.us/NLL. When you go there, it takes United States residents to that, well, it takes you to the Amazon store the NLL has, but only U.S. residents can have it because, that's what people like Kurt Hunziker do. It's just only merch allowed in the U.S. apparently. And I know the tariffs are a thing, but there's no reason why my merchandise can ship to Canada. But maybe my merchandise can't ship to Canada. I'm pretty sure it can, though, last time I checked. Oh, it can! Because our buddy Debo's Dies got his merchandise, and that was seamless. So I'm walking. Anyways, it takes you straight there if you're a United States resident. I thought about wearing my Brian O'Neill shirt, jersey thing, but it's over there. I was like, I'll leave that alone for now. Comments to start. Good Lord. CLS's new time. Aha. April Fool's. Wow. Packer Garza's the OG viewers remember. Yeah, that was, it's good that we're getting back to that. Well, that's a good point. And there we go. Okay, so we appreciate you guys tuning in. Okay, so now let's talk about the Wings. And no, newsflash, there's nothing new here from me, all right? But I thought I'd talk about a few things, including what the fans are saying, and then I'll get you vague reporting that I think stabs people in the back and twists the knife, all right? So first off, when this news came out officially that the Wings are like Comcast Spectacles is now officially hands off, all right? We already knew that, but now it's like the NLL can be transparent and just telling people, okay, here's what's happening. We're going to try to find an owner, all right? I know Patrick Roy on Monday's show talked about the difference in statements, and I'll be honest, because it was so close to my show start time, I didn't get to really read and digest the separate statements. I will say that I do see why Patrick Roy said it was basically a different perspective kind of thing, because the Wings basically wish their players, so long and good nights, but it would make sense because that they're hands off anyways. And I told you guys that Joe Tsai has been funding them anyway, so it's not like they really had a big, nice team in there to help them anyway. So it makes sense why the franchise would say that, because good luck and hope you find. They should have said we hope we find an owner, but they didn't. It's whatever. The statements were interesting, but the fan reaction what really upset me was I liked the fact there were so many fans that seemed to care. What I did not like was twofold here. Number one, suddenly these local news outlets that I guess remembered the Wings had a team were posting about it. So CBS Philadelphia, which I could be wrong here, and if I am, tell me. I don't think I've ever seen anything from CBS Philadelphia in my 4 years that I've been doing the show. I don't know if they always post about the Wings, but it seems like very convenient timing to say, oh, by the way, did you hear? Like, no, because you guys never told anybody they existed. And the reason I mentioned that, because that's what was happening. I have seen this after seeing those Facebook groups, especially the Philadelphia Wings fan club. I have seen them not happy with the lack of promotions. And they say it dates back to after COVID, when there were people who were like, they didn't think it was being marketed well enough. And then you're seeing people who live in Philadelphia who said, oh my gosh, I didn't even know this team was back. Now, maybe that was on them. I don't know. But it feels like there was a lot of Philadelphia people saying that almost seemed upset by it. All right. So I thought that was kind of frustrating, because all of a sudden these local news outlets didn't care until now. It's like, well, aren't you kind of jerks, and aren't you kind of ignorant to the whole what's going on in Philadelphia for CBS? And I'm not just calling out CBS. They're ones that stuck out, but so many local outlets that I guarantee you were not out there talking about the Wings team when they were dead to rights to start the year. I mean, it's frustrating. I think they all dropped the ball. Now, does that mean Comcast Spectacles is the biggest to blame? Obviously. I also want to mention another thing I saw. There was, I feel like when you see things like this, it means there are a group of fans that care. So on multiple social media platforms, a bunch of fans were once again wondering if a Green Bay Packers scenario is possible here, like where it's fan funded. Now, obviously, knowing how many fans showed up and knowing how this would obviously work as it's the National Lacrosse League, no offense, it's not going to happen. But I love seeing there was at least 20 people I saw that wanted to possibly crowdfund a team here. All right. I thought that was nice to see. And I feel like it shows that there is a group of people, of hardcore people that want this thing to work. All right. And then I finally want to, because we can do this like probably tomorrow as well, some more talk on the Wings and where I actually think they'll go. But there was a certain media outlet of the independent variety that said, hey guys, tune into our Instagram in a couple of hours and let's talk about some big news that Wings fans will want to hear. And it was absolutely nothing. Absolutely. They talked about Trenton. Oh my, who could have seen that coming? And then Lehigh Valley, whatever the crap it's called. But the quote this outlet gave was some vague statement literally my uncle could have made. And I do have an uncle, I just don't talk. Okay, whatever. My point is, my younger sister could have made that quote, and I don't have a younger sister. All right? And I think that when you're telling fans, I've got major news in an hour, check me out, and you literally stab them in the back, what are you accomplishing? I get it, clicks and all this stuff. I have been changing my thumbnails, all right? But I would like to think for just a moment that changing my YouTube thumbnail is not as evil as saying, hey, fans that just lost your NLL team or might lose your team, hey, I've got big news for you, and the big news is bullcrap. I don't think that's fair. And I'm not just calling out this one outlet. I know there's others that will do it. We have got to stop doing that, all right? Because there's multiple people I saw doing it, and this one stuck out to me, but it's unfair to the fans. People like to criticize me for certain reporting. And I get that, you have to take doing what I do in the way that I do it. I understand you're going to take some heat from it. I have been accused of blatantly lying about certain stuff and doing only clickbaits. After seeing what other people have done since I've started the show, I feel like I'm pretty off the hook there. Because I have looked back at my where I say the Rochester Nighthawks might be going. It was somewhere in Michigan. Grand Rapids, all right? People still take shots at me. I looked up that tweet. I worded it as a rumor. See, I'm at least trying, and I'm not just doing a me versus other media, but I'm begging other media people to please stop with the clickbait when fans are genuinely curious where the crap, if they're going to have a team. And I think it's very unfair, and it's not good media and not good journalistic practices when you do crap like that. So I'm just begging other media, and that includes myself, if you have any rumblings of anything, don't say I have massive news in an hour, because you don't. Tell people what you're hearing. I do the same thing. But don't act like you've got some massive important thing going on, because, again, to me, it's basically like giving the middle finger or stabbing the person in the back. And I don't think we should do that. There's not enough great media people in this space for us to have us do that. It's one thing when the NBA has a million different serious people, and occasionally you'll have the Barstool of the world. The NLL is relying on like 5 people right now to give them information. And I'm telling the other people, including myself, let's not use this as, hey, click on me, because that's not what we should be doing. There's other ways to grow your following, and I don't think that's one of them. Maybe one day when we got a bunch of people out there, sure. But we should not sit there and say, hey, Wings fans, I got something for you, and then lie, because you don't. No one knows anything right now. And if you do, great. But don't give me some hollow, vague thing, because it's unfair to the Wings fans that actually want some news and want some comfort, all right? Couple of comments, and then we'll move on here. Oh, wow. 501C's into the chat. Oh, so it's a non-profit format. The structure is membership. Talking about the Green Bay Packers thing. That's fair. Thank you, Michael Grace from Halifax. Low-key Grand Rapids would actually be a great... Sure. And again, like, people like to take shots because they thought that I said it verbatim, and I looked it up. Like, I was starting to believe that I said it as breaking news, and it actually wasn't. What other people are doing right now in Philadelphia is what they accused me of doing. I'm like, well, come on, guys. Ah, there we go. And to be fair, I may have been guilty of not wording things correctly, but if you are going to be in the media business, I'm just begging people out there, knowing this is a sensitive subject right now, say, hey, I'm hearing there's rumors about this, but don't give them some grand announcement and then lie in their face, all right? When we come back, though, let's focus back on the NLL, and let's talk about the Rookie of the Year, and after that, we'll do Defensive Player of the Year. We got a big show today, and stay tuned for what the crap is the Junior NLL, and why am I no longer surprised it's not even a thing this year. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Daily Dive at a new start time, unfortunately. Well, really, I don't know.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome back to Daily Dive, the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talks from the plant. I'm your host, Michael Karvelis. It is Wednesday, April 1st right now. The time is at 1:21 Eastern. You're like, well, wait a minute. No, you got the... And if you are a replay viewer, which we get quite a few of those, you're like, whoa, 1 o'clock. Yep. We start at 1 o'clock now. I don't know if that helps certain people out. I'm sure it also hurts others who have watched the show live. We appreciate you all year. Again, I work night shift and it sucks sometimes, so I feel like I'm better prepared for this thing. And I also talked to our other guests, and they seem to be okay with this as well. We just talked about the Philadelphia Wings. I thought it was great the fans are out there commenting, wondering why they actually didn't know this iteration of the Wings existed, especially after COVID. I feel like local media kind of dropped the ball and so did the organization, but now we're back. All right, so stay tuned for my Defensive Player of the Year rankings right now. Right now, we're going to do Rookie of the Year. And again, this show is presented by the NLL merchandise found at natalkradio.us/NLL. Head there now, U.S. residents. Unfortunately. All right, so Rookie of the Year. I still think this might be the award right now where there is like not a close... Maybe there's a close second. I know some people are trying to push around other players. I saw Sam English. I'm like, what? I think CJ Kirst has a good lead because it's not just the 31 goals, the 31 assists, including 20 primary. It's the other end of the floor with 15 caused turnovers and 77 loose balls. The guy is clearly doing all the work. I said he's actually probably in my MVP race right now if I had a top 10 because he has been the most valuable player on the Rock because they were like, okay, yeah, a great rookie. It's like, oh my gosh, he's leading us in points or close to it. Not bad. So CJ Kirst is my number 1 right now. Number 2, the first of 2 sworn players on this graphic. It will be Michael Grace. This one's playing in Georgia, not a fan of Halifax Thunderbirds. Michael Grace has 6 goals, 8 assists. Of course, 5 of them are primary, 92 loose balls, and the defense of this guy is absolutely nuts. He is obviously in a close to Defensive Player of the Year as well. 26 caused turnovers and 4 block shots. Unbelievable what this man's doing. Shout out to Michael Grace. Now, next up, another Toronto Rock player. This one goes to Owen Hiltz. Owen Hiltz is one of the best offensive players that are trailing CJ Kirst. Owen Hiltz, 29 goals, 26 assists, 15 of those are primary, 47 loose balls, like 30 less than Kirst. Not really doing it on the other end, even though I've seen Hiltz get back more and more as the year's gone on. He doesn't have the raw stats to back that up, but I've seen him get up the floor after a turnover a few times, actually. Nolan Byrne is number 4 for me. Now, Nolan Byrne has he been better than Lyle Thompson this year? It's certainly a little bit of a debate. He's a rookie, 27 goals, 9 primary assists, including 18 total, 73 loose balls for himself. This guy, again, I don't know if the Swarm knew that Michael Grace and Nolan Byrne would be this good this early. And that's when your team drafts you think, oh yeah, you're going to have an awesome future. And this entire list is ridiculous. Like last year, I thought Dyson Williams and Brandon O'Neill, there was an argument, like I named Adam Potter my Rookie of the Year. If Dyson or Brandon were putting up these numbers like CJ Kirst or Nolan Byrne, I would have easily given it to that guy. But it's like they weren't. And this year, we've got guys doing it on both ends. It's absolutely amazing. And you're telling me next year in 2027 is the best draft class? Oh my God. I'm going to have to do a lot of work talking to the on the clock people, on the clock lax, whatever they're called. I know Pat Gregoire is part of that. There's a few people in there that are scouting up the rookies. I'm like, if this is not even the best class, oh my heavens, we're in for a treat. And so are the Toronto Rock. So whatever, because this only is going to get better for them. If you know, you know. All right, folks, when we come back to the show, let's do our defensive player of the year now. And I'll be honest, I've got to explain my criteria because I don't even, when you look at these numbers, like, well, is that guy transit? Well, we'll talk about it next. You're watching Daily Dive.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening. You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome back to Daily Dive. You already know where we're at and who I am and what we do here. It is Wednesday, April 1st, 2026. The time is currently 1:28 here on the East Coast. We appreciate you tuning into our new time of 1 o'clock p.m. from here to the rest of the season. We appreciate you, and especially if you're a replay viewer, you're wondering, whoa, what time do they start? Now you know. 1 o'clock, easy, lunchtime. Let's go. I'm hungry. Why didn't I eat beforehand? I don't know. We already talked about the wings and the fan reactions. There's been a lot of support, and which makes me even happier because, like, maybe the NLL sees that. Maybe a potential owner sees that. I don't know how many comments you'd have to be a potential owner, but hey, I love the passion being poured out right now on social media. We just talked about my Rookie of the Year, the segment before this one. CJ Kirsch 1, number 2. I've got Michael Grace, number 3. Owen Hills, number 4. Nolan Byrne. Now it's time for my Defensive Player of the Year. And stay tuned for fresh fits coming up after this and more right here on Daily Dive. All right, so let's remove the ticker and the logo. Bang! Here's my Defensive Player of the Year right now. So let me take this down one more time, just real quick. I have to explain because I have noticed as a newer fan, and I mean, we're almost four regular seasons into this thing. I still find I like the NBA and the NFL and stuff like that as well. And I find that the Defensive Player of the Year is weird. All right. I didn't catch the part where Cody Jansen and John Fraser talked about who their Defensive Player of the Year was, but I know Cody said, I believe Mike Messenger was his Transition Player of the Year. And while I think that's awesome, I also want to mention it's unfair to Mike Messenger. I'm not taking shots at Cody, just saying in general, because it feels like a lot of the times when a defensive player is freaking awesome on defense, and then he happens to be able to run fast and score, i.e. Jake Withers, even though he's more transition, or Graham Hossick or Jordan McIntosh, I feel like we're kind of like not being fair to those guys. Like if you can score, I don't know why the NLL says, oh, now you're transition player of the year. Because now one of your offensive numbers are not as good as the next guy, so now you're screwed out of both awards. And I don't feel like that makes much sense. Like, if I'm watching every defensive shift the Rush play, and Mike Messenger is right there, same thing with Jordan McIntosh or Graham Osling or Owen Grant or any of them, why is that not a defensive player? I know there are players like Zach Currier and others who are just like, they're on defense, but they're also playing a bunch of shifts on offense. If we're being honest, Mike Messenger does a lot of defense mostly. So I think that has to matter here, which is why I know you already saw it, but we're going to show it again. Peep the shower curtains, baby. Bang. There it is. So I've got Callum Jones at number 1. I think Callum's been doing it both ways, even though mostly on defense. 156 loose balls also has to matter. He is close to tops in the NLL in that regard. 30 caused turnovers is absolutely ridiculous. 11 block shots. Again, I have to play this clip that Captain got for us. This is literally the extent of the post-game interview after the Black Bears lost to the Swarm. This is electric stuff here. It shows you how great Callum Jones is. I'm not biased, but tell me this doesn't fire you up.
I think he was a little too big for us, unfortunately. Just top on as well. I don't have much to say about it.
Dropped to solve and nearly net, right?
Always getting looks, right? I worry about us on the back end. We got to be better. We turned the ball over too much. They pressed us. We prepared for it. It wasn't good enough. We need to get Jeff Keaton our offensive ball. It's as simple as that.
Just got 2 games left in the year. What's your mentality when we win final stretch? Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it.
You heard the man. He just wants to win. Again, I think it's awesome. I think it's great that he is like that. So again, he is my number uno right now. The mindset helps. Number 2, Mike Messenger. Again, I'm sorry that Mike Messenger has more goals and assists than your favorite defender. It does not mean you have to take Mike Messenger off of the defensive player list. Oh, he's only transition. Man, stop that. 14 call servers and 27 blocks. Are we kidding? How is that not defensive numbers, man? If you watch the Rush games, he's absolutely a unit. Like, I'm sorry he's better, again, than your favorite defender. Oh, well. Number 3, Jordan McIntosh. So I feel like, and this is partly my fault as well, we've been giving a lot of credits to Brett Dobson. And sure, he's earned it. 80, and it's still 84. I'm checking it right now. Brett Dobson is at 84.4 save percentage. So yeah, that checks out. But if we're being honest with ourselves, that's not all Brett Dobson. Jordan McIntosh and guys like Michael Grace are absolutely mattering here. And I think Jordan McIntosh, with, again, a guy who might be dubbed as transition because he's better than your favorite defensive player on offense, 10 goals and 20 assists, 92 loose balls, 21 caused turnovers, and 14 block shots. He's been awesome. Now, while some of you may be wondering, 1, why is Mitch DeSnew here? And 2, why is he in a Toronto Rock jersey? Okay, so hear me out. The photo website the NLL uses for this stuff, I don't believe the Philadelphia Wings had a headshots section. And so Mitch DeSnew was not on there. And he's not on the Buffalo Bandits right now, last time I checked. I'll check that again as we're live here. Again, I don't think it's happened yet. Briefly, great TV here. No, he's not on there. So he's in a Toronto Rock jersey. Thank you, Philadelphia Wings, for literally not caring. There's people in the organization that care. They obviously did not help me today at all. So there's that. But yeah, Mr. Snew, he's on the list though, because the Toronto, see what I did? The Buffalo Bandits are 8-2 when he finishes the game. Obviously, the Vegas game, he didn't do anything, so it makes sense. Now, looking at the Bandits record right now, they're 9-6, which means the Buffalo Bandits are 1-4 when this man does not finish a game. Do you realize they turn into a bad team? I don't know why. When Mitch Desnew does not finish a game, that is a ridiculous stat. And oh, by the way, his numbers also help out. Now, granted, it does bug me that Mitch Desnew, didn't he play games? I should know this. I swore he played some games for the Philadelphia Wings, and I can't find him. Someone's going to comment before I even see this. No, it's okay. It's all been with Buffalo, so there we go. I see why. I forgot. He got there. I give up. But my point is, Mitch Desnew has been a great defender this year. He was with the Wings last year, so I'm actually very upset now that he was not on the headshots. Like, what is wrong with me? I'm like, that's why he's not, whatever. I don't care. My point is, he's been awesome. He hasn't been healthy. Shout out to Hammer Jackson, but he has been awesome, and that's what matters. There was also another player I was considering for this, Latrell Harris. Now, Latrell Harris missed my list because he has only 69 loose balls and only 12 cross turnovers with 7 blocks. I don't feel like that's good enough to make my list. I think you have to have raw stats, but if you watch the Toronto Rock play, he is a major reason why they're great on defense, and he just levels guys. I'm not forcing a turnover. Fine. Give it to the next guy, but I laid this dude on the ground, okay? My bad. All right? So good for Latrell Harris. But again, that is Mitch Desnew. He plays for the Buffalo Bandits, not the Toronto Rock, and definitely not for the Philadelphia Wings. Yeah, I'm sorry. Foxy says there should only be designated forwards and defenders. Transition is a player who excels between the lines both ways, depending on FRD. That would, yeah, and like, I feel like that's why there needs to be like a Zach Currier or Ian McKay type of award. Like, there should not just be, like, there's offensive player and MVP, but I feel like with Zach Currier, how in the world the San Diego Seals not even nominate Zach Currier for MVP? And I also don't like that teams have to do that. Again, topic for another day, but it kind of goes all in the same conversation here. Like, why can't Zach Currier be an MVP if you're going to shout him for transition and defensive player and offensive player? Then what does he get to do? Finish fourth in I don't know, man. I feel like there's places in the game for players like that, at least in terms of awards. I think it's a travesty that they're limited to, good offensive defender, even though we're only doing that because he's better than you. It's ridiculous, man. Like, my fault Reed Bowering can't score, okay? And again, it's not a shot at Reed Bowering. I just threw a name out as like a really good defender who doesn't really score a lot. Oh, well. Like, that's kind of your fault. It's not, but we're good, whatever. All right, so when we come back, we're going to actually get this, like, our fourth topic will be fresh fits. There are 2 after that, including my NLL power rankings and, of course, my it's not my thoughts. It's basically the junior NLL was it's not a good look considering why the reason may be that they're not doing that this year and maybe never again. I don't know. I'm just saying it's not a great look. We'll talk about that, but stay tuned. Fresh Fits is up next. We'll be right back.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome back to Dilly Dive, folks. I hope that you're having a fun time today at our new start time of 1 o'clock. It is currently 1:42 here on the East Coast. We welcome you back to the show. Stay tuned for why the junior NLL is not a thing this year and what I'm learning about what its history actually might be, which I don't like. We also are going to have my NLL power rankings immediately after this segment. This segment will be fresh fits. We also did my award races for rookie and defensive player of the year, my new twist on it, if you will. And we started the show with the Philadelphia Wings getting a lot of fan comments. And I also think that local media and NLL reporters should all do a better job. Okay. It is now time for Fresh Fits. In full disclosure, we do a broadcaster Fresh Fits where it's the guys in the booth, and we've already mentioned last week that Pac Gregoire won the whole thing because there ain't much weeks left. Pac Gregoire already had 7 wins, and thankfully for the NLL broadcasters, he's been off for 2 weeks. So, with that being said, next year for Fresh Fits and broadcasters, I'm going to have the top 2 vote getters be voted on by the fans, so it's not just one guy wins it, because I feel like, oh, a guy like Pac Gregoire could lap the field. So we'll give him his repeat trophy. Great stuff for him. I probably will do a little trophy because we already gave him merch, so we'll do something else this year. But yeah, again, the fan vote for the Fresh Fits for the players will be fun as well. Stay tuned for that to the end of the regular season. Bam! So, first off, we got the Ottawa Black Bears, and you're like, wow, Jeff T. Nope, not so fast. I did not even realize Callum Jones is definitely growing his hair out. There's no way. Unless that's a wig, which I don't think it is. Callum Jones with a sweet comb over. Kind of like what I'm trying to do, just like not as good. But I actually like this because the Air Jordans, like that, those are Ottawa Black Bears colors, and I don't know why I never thought of a player doing that. I don't know why players haven't done it. Maybe they have, and I just didn't see the lower half. But hey, Callum Jones, because of those kicks and the comb over a little bit, he's the representative for the Ottawa Black Bears this week. Okay, so I want to give a shout out. I think Mackie Jenner is still doing the social media, but like you're like, okay, well, who is it? Cody Timmerson? Is it this guy? No, it's actually Nangan Thompson. You're like, well, why am I giving a shout out to the social media person if he's way back here? Well, they gave us a really good angle, and come on. They knew I would come on this show and break down the outfits. So we got both It's like a Captain Underpants flip-a-rama. Are we kidding? Are we kidding right now? It doesn't work, but you get it. He's worn this suit before, I feel like, kind of like a Tyson Bell thing. I feel like the Halifax Thunderbirds players actually deserve a shop to like the suit store. I don't know. Wow, I'm dying. Like, take them all to Men's Warehouse for crying out. Can Pat Gregoire and Pete Dalladay please drive some Thunderbirds players to the suit store so they get new suits? My point is, though, with this, I was wondering if that was actually New Balance. It actually is New Balance, because you can tell they wrote it on the back of the shoe. But no, I like the suede New Balances. I think sneakers and ankles are better than dress shoes or loafers and ankles. I think loafers and ankles are one of the ugliest things that modern men's fashion does. But I think the sneakers and ankles are actually work a lot better. Does he wearing socks here? I can't believe it. Yeah, he's wearing ankle socks. But like, my point is, those would actually work because they actually look cool. Loafers. You guys are insane. Hey. All right. So Ryan Keenan, can we just take a moment of silence here? That's all I can go without talking. But my point is, the Saskatchewan Rush never, and I mean never, post their fits. Like, ever. Like, we're lucky if we get 5 guys a year. Oh, I'm kidding. I like this, though. I feel like part of it was because they were on TSN. Like, okay, I guess we'll throw up the fresh fits for Michael. Like, go to hell, all right? Corduroy. I believe that's a corduroy suit. If it's not corduroy, it's definitely a suede, or it's not a regular suit. Like, I bet you if you ask Ryan Keenan to touch it, he'll say no. You'll say, can I feel it? It's like, whoa, that's nice. I tried to make this segment as weird, but it's to the point. And ZZ Top, you guys really are in the sticks of Canada. Like, I'm in the sticks of the U.S. here in Georgia, like the good old Narn boys. The fact there's a redneck thing up in Saskatchewan, so much so you guys have to use ZZ Top, that does not fire me up, man. At least for like a walkthrough. Like, my God. Okay. I'm going to give a shout out to the person that actually helped me here. We only got one person. The Wings had a chance to have 2 Fresh Fit nominees this week, and they actually did so. Ron John is the first one. Love this. Again, I'm a sucker for the shoe, for those sneakers, man. Nice jeans. He's looking good. Ron John, you are the man. Now, I don't know who the middle guy is here. Sorry. Nice try, Isaiah Davis Allen. I'm also pretty sure Isaiah Davis Allen wore the exact same thing he wore on Friday. And can we also give a moment? I think I've seen this guy before. Oh, well. This man went at least 2, maybe 3 top bun buttons. All right. You've got some confidence in yourself if you're doing not 1, but 2, and possibly a 3rd. Because even Dane Smith and Josh Ford are like, man, you look good. Like, if those guys are dropping their jaws, I might as well. Huh? There you go. It got weird again. Man. Like, especially if they're bony. Like, what? Lord. I can't believe we're going from this segment to like the junior NLL call out. It's ridiculous. This show does not make sense sometimes. Bang! It's a shame. I always do broadcasters last because this deserved the final hurrah. And shout out to like there was a Firewolves player. I want to make sure I get the name because I feel like I didn't get his picture, but like there was a Firewolves player who dressed up. I don't want to say dressed up as Superman, but his jacket opened to a Superman thing, and it was. I would have to find this again. Here it is. It's Dante. I don't know who Dante is. I think I've talked about Dante on the show before, but Dante had like this Superman thing, all right? He's Rutgers alumni. I don't know. But this right here, and Ryan Benesh actually did this in Halifax one time and also won Fresh Fits, all right? You guys know me. If you won dress for the occasion, whether it be country night or beach night or whatever, I'm going to give you credit for that. Also, bring your kid to work day always works. And then if your kid literally dresses up as Bruce Banner, the Incredible Hulk, you're going to win. Oh, and by the way, that's not Ryan Reynolds. Does he do that because his name is Ryan? It's Ryan Benesh. Does Ryan Benesh do that because his name is Ryan? I don't know. But, I mean, come on, dude. Like, the fact we don't even know it's Ryan Benesh makes it 10,000 times cooler. Oh, and again, the kid is the Hulk. Like, come on, man. Come on, Benny boy. Lord have mercy. It's now time to get to our broadcasters. Again, the second week in a row where Pat Gregoire could not steal the show again. Like, if you look at the man's new profile picture on Twitter, it's literally him in a nice pink suit. Ooh, we're so not cool. Pat dresses nicely. All right, so hear me out. Bad picture here, but Jake Elliott, this is a maroon and kind of like a lavender-ish shirt. That's my room back there. But my point is, Jake Elliott, oh, and the nice, again, oh, wait, that's a good, wow. You know what? I'll save that thought. But there's that, I feel like Jason Tossi with the at least the two-piece is nice. I don't know if he's wearing pants. But that's nice. I was going to give it to Cody Jansen. I literally had to ask Cody, like, hey, I asked Cody and John, what color is your suit? It's apparently navy with a very silky, like, bright navy blue tie and a dark green shirt. It was Cody. And then I second thought about this. Do you know, and I think the logo was not very good. I think when your whole promotion goes from 40th anniversary with a crappy video to we're going to celebrate the 40th anniversary for 40 hours. I've been saving that take, by the way. They celebrated the 40th anniversary of the NLL for 40 hours. But Jake Elliott has a pin. And his suit colors actually match that. It's going to Jake again, actually. I was fully prepared to give it to Cody Jansen, and on the air, I looked at that pin again. I'm like, that literally, your pin is colored. He coordinates with their logo. Hey, man, listen. Credit where it's due. Jake Elliott. Is that not a good look? It's the little things I appreciate, all right? We come back. It's time for my NLL Power Rankings. A little bit of an adjusted feature here today, but can't wait for you to tune into that. And stay tuned again as we're going to end the show with Junior NLL. Oh, there's some little bit of, I don't want to say dirt, but like it's not a good story. All right, we'll be right back to Daily Dive. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening. You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
So far in this new start time edition of Daily Dive, where we will be 1 o'clock Eastern for the rest of the year. My hands sound weird. I think only a girl would say their hands sound weird. I just like, if you're a guy, why do I care about that? I know. I don't even know why I played that. It just sounded fun. On today's show, I talked about the Philadelphia Wings with the fan reactions to the whole thing. I love that they're so passionate. I love that certain people were calling out the fact, I didn't know this thing was here again. Great stuff for them. But I also hope they really find their new place. Regardless of where it is. Next up, we talked about my Rookie of the Year race, where I had CJ Kirst at 1, Michael Grace at 2, number 3 was Owen Hills, number 4 was Nolan Byrne. So if you're not a fan of the Rock or the Swarm, I'm sorry. My Defensive Player of the Year, number 1 was Callum Jones, number 2 was Mike Messenger, number 3, Jordan McIntosh, because how are we not giving a Swarm defender credit when they literally are playing in front of Brett Dobson? It's not all Brett Dobson, even though he's been awesome. Number 4 for me was Mitch Disnew, the Doctor. We just did Fresh Fits, where I had to give Jake Elliott my broadcaster fit because, yeah, like the whole 40th anniversary thing, great color coordination. I had to give it props, even though Cody Jensen were so freaking close there. Also, Ryan Benesh apparently is Deadpool. I didn't know that. Thank you for the Thunderbird social media for showing Non-Con Thompson. And the Wings for obviously tagging your players. Stay tuned after this for Junior NLL call-outs. It's going to be a big thing. But for now, my NLL Power Rankings. Now, the graphic will be aired after the show on the social media at Daily Dive LAX. But I have to mention, we have eliminated 3 teams. I don't feel like there's a reason I should shout out the Wings or the Roughnecks or the Firewolves when they're eliminated. So we're just going to do the top 11 from now on. Number 1. I told you guys I was very upset with the Rush for being swept by the Bandits, especially when you led that game 7-4. Number 1 for me right now, the Vancouver Warriors. Number 2 are the Buffalo Bandits. Number 3 are now the Saskatchewan Rush. The reason the Warriors are ahead of the Bandits is because the Buffalo Bandits in back-to-back weeks have had 0 offense for the first 3 quarters. And I think that has to matter because Vancouver, their offense actually has been better. And I'm not saying Buffalo cannot beat Vancouver in a 3-game series. I'm saying that Vancouver, I trust on offense right now more than Buffalo, even though that probably is going to change. Number 4 will be the Colorado Mammoth. Number 5, I know they lost. Toronto Rock. Because I still think they're better. Wait. I don't know why I didn't show this before, but I'm pretty sure. Okay. Well, I still have the Rock at number 5. The Swarm did beat them weeks ago, for what that's worth. Number 7 will be the Black Bears. Number 8 will be the San Diego Seals. Number 9, I've got the Desert Dogs. Number 10, the Nighthawks. And call me crazy for buying into their crap again, but they won a game looking great again. Thomas McConvey, folks, did you know the Nighthawks are 4-2 when this man scores 2 goals? That's impressive. Small sample size, but it's literally a third of the season that has to matter. Number 11, I've got the Thunderbirds. They already have 9 losses. I think that does matter going forward. But again, it's not really, my power rankings are not really the standings, but eventually the standings are going to have to matter. Even though at the end of the regular season, at the end of the postseason, I will do a top 14 again. And then we'll see where I know some teams made the playoffs, but we'll see how they look in the playoffs in round 1. Especially if they're bounced, I'll see if a team like Halifax or Rochester usurps them at my true number 8 spot. All right. When we come back, I know many of you may have heard my Kurt Hunziker and really the NLL front office rant last week. It goes deeper because this isn't just only this year the junior NLL is not a thing. I'm not a fan of what's transpiring right now. I think when you hide behind kids, I especially don't like that. You're watching Daily Dive. The last segment is next, and it is a doozy.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening. You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Daily Dive. I'm your host, Michael Karvelis. I want to first of all thank you for tuning in to today's show. Many of you have commented, and I appreciate you. Again, our new start time is 1 o'clock Eastern. So in case you're on replay, you haven't heard that by now. Now you have. Last week, I went a tiny bit scorched earth on Kurt Hunziker and the NLL front office and the decision makers that be for the unboxed and the junior NLL screw up. To refresh your memory, Kurt Hunziker had been all over this, giving himself a pat on the back for how great the unboxed is, even though it literally makes no sense. And again, to briefly recap that, the merchandise, the people wanted logos that help the logos be thought about and created. They wanted the merchandise done a year at least before they actually came about. You had this random Indianapolis Checkers team that's popped up and played a tournament where all we got was a photo album. You got Kurt Hunziker claiming there were 60 schools of 400 kids each that are all learning the NLL and all learning the cross, and he wants us to believe that. And I've seen nothing. No one's talked about it besides that random dad who had a team who wanted to partner with the NLL in Indianapolis. And God bless him. All right? We then learned the junior NLL is not a thing this year. Why? Because Jimmy Dowlick is not giving the track out for free, nor should he. And the fact that the NLL had no other options besides the track made people like myself, first of all, frustrated, and second of all, a little bit curious, because it wasn't just Jamie didn't give us the track for free. There's more. And again, much like Unboxed, which seems to be a money grab at this point, It might have a future. I don't know. I think there are good people who actually want this thing to be wholesome and awesome and grow the game. I just think the people who have created this whole thing have completely looked like slumlords. I don't know what to call it, all right? Not only is Unboxed the way it is, hiding behind, we want to grow the game and help out children. Apparently so is Junior NLL. Now, I don't know how long the Junior NLL has been going on, but we do know, like even fans, that the most casual fans will know that players are not just going to these Junior NLL tournaments for free. You think they are? I beg you, if you're Canadian, to go on and buy some merchandise from the NLL at natalkradio.us/NLL. Because that's also a lie. You can't do that if you're Canadian. I say that to say this. Apparently, with the new CBA, there's not a lot of wiggle room with that. In fact, I'm hearing that the Junior NLL, a lot of it was formed to help pay certain people without really paying them on some salary cap. And now, apparently multiple teams did not want this thing to happen because they wanted to save a little money. So if there is a future for Junior NLL next year, I certainly hope so, maybe this will all go away. I'm sure the new CBA is going to help things out a bunch. But I'll ask this like I did last week. How many parents and kids do you think will be completely turned off by this? Because don't worry about it. Next year we'll be back in full force. But why is that? Because you can't stand to do this tournament without making some money. And I get it. You can't just throw things out there and like completely sacrifice money. Unless it's the unified standings, I'm just saying. My point is to hide behind grow the game and help out kids and then pull this crap. It's not the greatest of looks. And as independent media, even though I'm credentialed in some barns, I find it very heartbreaking that the NLL, as transparent as they've been with the Wings, and rightfully so, because I think the city of Philadelphia would burn down anything you touch if you weren't transparent, I find it very unfortunate they're so vague about this. And all we hear about is how great a job Kurt Hunziker's doing, man. Just, wow, wonderful job he's doing, man. This unboxing is just like the MILB. Really? Really? You want us to believe that kids out there in the United States it's just like baseball? Because obviously everyone has the same access to lacrosse as they do baseball, right, Kurt? Oh, you didn't mention that. Or when is the NLL going to tell people, hey, there's no Junior NLL? When are you going to tell people that? Or do we have to let the Wings stuff turn to ashes first? If the Wings fold, so be it. If the Nighthawks were never sold, so be it. If the Albany Firewolves had folded, so be it. I am much more upset and angry at every person in the NLL who literally collects a 6-figure check or better. I'm upset that you're growing the game thing, especially with a label of kids behind it or in front of to mask it all. I find that very upsetting. That's the one thing you're absolutely not transparent on. And I'll go back to WTF is unboxed anyways. Can somebody please, just somebody, Kurt Hunziker, go ahead. I would actually be okay with you. Can you please give us a video breakdown of what the NLL is actually doing to grow the game and help out the kids? I see a lot of teams on social media do it. Well, junior NLL, just not a thing. Just going to let that pass by the people. Why do I have to be the one to tell people that? It's so upsetting. I want to know also what Unboxed is. Because again, the only success story, I use that term very lightly, was the Indianapolis Checkers. Do you think all those kids came from one school? Probably. What school signed up for that? How many schools will it take to actually field a team in said area? The Jacksonville Swamp Pups. I would love to go down there and help out. How do I do that? I could easily just be a principal of some crappy school and just say, let's see what we got here. Oh, I'll sign my entire elementary school up for this program. I'll tell you how much kids we got. All this information you're begging for me, and yet I'm doing it. I'm looking up on what this actually is, and I don't know. Because if I'm a smart principal, or whatever they call leaders of a school in your area, I guess they're all principals. If I'm a smart principal or gym teacher, I'm doing my research on who the hell you are. And if all I see is junior NLL is not a thing, why? Because we couldn't pay our players this year. And then the Unboxed is some random club in Indianapolis. And then LinkedIn is full of this guy telling me how great. Why would I sign my kids up to this? Why would I add something else for them to play? You tell me. 60 schools, man? Really? Who are they? Where are they? How many kids? Like, again, they were so happy for the Indianapolis Checkers that they put a freaking photo album with no words on the website. You can still find it, I think. Ooh, it's rough. And again, the junior NLL, just gone. Didn't tell. I'm sure you told some frustrated parents already, but who else is going to know that? They just had to kind of figure it out, you know. But again, grow the game, love the kids. We get it. All right, cool. Thanks for watching the show. Isn't that great? Agreed. Completely agree with this. Like, that's what I was saying. Like, there were teams out there that actually give a crap, and apparently, if they didn't, the NLL wouldn't either. I hope that's not true. I just figure if no one else is going to say it, I will. So that's how we do the show. Thanks for watching today's episode. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, 1 o'clock Eastern, same place, North American Talk Radio on YouTube. This has been Daily Dive. Read it and weep. Talk about it on social media. See you tomorrow. Bye.